7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
All right. Welcome to Amateur Hour.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back.
We're at our taco.
The Rusty Taco.
I ordered a beer and Troy didn't order anything. So basically, we're just using their patio and their back room.
I had to rush to get here.
Oh.
I'll get something in a minute.
Well, I tell you things in my mind, and I figure you just know that you're just going to be here. So
Yes.
you know. Anyway, so flag football is just about back. We have about a month until the first event of the year is going to take place, and that's going to be the Football is Coming 4 First Responders Tournament. So right now we have tentatively, which is always tentative with the first responders, they all work shift work and things change. So right now it's looking like we have 4 teams. We have Beaumont Police, Beaumont Fire Department, Orange Fire Department, and RFTC or RTFC, I can never remember, but they're the ones who won it last year. So Michael Peavy and
I
team.
thought the Beaumont Police won it last year.
The Beaumont Police have never won it.
At the Lumberton, at the high school field. I thought y'all won it last year.
No, the Beaumont Police have won one game. That was last year. We did win a game last year.
Yeah, because I thought y'all actually won the thing. Anyway, this is one of my favorite events. Of all the things we do, this is one of the most fun events that we do, for me at least, just because it's fun to see people you don't see normally out there playing their tails off, giving everything they've got.
It's the most effort that's ever given.
It really is. It's fun to watch. It's just, and for a good cause too, and I don't have to play, so that makes it even more fun for me.
Yeah. I think the rule has always been that it has to be 5 firefighters or police officers or EMTs or anything you can construe as a first responder playing on the field, and you could have 3 guys that aren't. I think at least next year we're going to change that a little to make it so that your entire team has to be first responders.
Which may give us less teams.
Well, I've had a lot of people wanting to be ringers.
Yeah.
They're like, well, can I play? I'm like, yeah, you can go dominate. I mean,
Yeah.
kind of takes away from the fairness of it, but all right.
Hey, 4 teams, that's our biggest turnout for this. That's actually pretty good. I like
Yeah,
that.
no, and every year everybody has enough, so I think that's a rule that I anticipated needing, but I don't think we really needed it.
I thought it would be pretty neat if we could ever get Lumberton or Hardin County, since that's where we play. You think it'd be cool to get them involved, but, you know.
Well, look,
it's
Hardin County guys, Hardin County Fire Department or
Lumbertonians.
Sheriff's Office, or you know what? If you're a dog catcher, that's fine. You respond to stuff.
It's very responsive.
Come out there and let us know. I mean, get your team together. Hell, we'll take Texas Rangers, federal agents, Interpol.
Awesome.
Interpol can get a team. You have some Frenchmen out there.
I'd like to see, yeah.
Office 227 of the Interpol French Parisian Division. You know,
The Kingsmen.
they're out there with their berets. It'll be or the what's that thing in Britain? They're form of the CIA. It's like a letter and a number, like E5.
Oh, some M5, M3. I don't know, something like
Yeah,
that.
well, it'll be like M3 versus Beaumont Police Department.
They would have, and we're not paying for their flight.
No,
Their airfare. They're not.
No, they're gonna fly here, like the Portuguese International Police Squad versus Beaumont Fire Department.
We should just get any type of
Have people out there with federales on their shirts and stuff.
and then like gangs too, like the Yakuza or things like that.
Oh, so it'll be the police versus the criminals?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, look, if they pay their money to play, we can have the Zetas versus, I don't know, Houston Gang Squad or something.
Good times right there. That'd be fun.
Well, for all of you that are keeping score, Dude Looks Like a Lady is on the radio here at our taco.
And that just brought a thought. If we had a co-ed tournament, that would be good.
I would love to have a co-ed tournament. We failed at that once, but we'll try again one day.
Yep.
And see if we can make it work. But the 100 Club of Southeast Texas will get all the proceeds for the First Responders Tournament. So if you guys want to come out and watch the football games and donate a little bit to the 100 Club, we'd really appreciate it. It's going to be on August 12th, which is Sunday. We're going to start our games at about 5 p.m. We'll let you know when we get closer to that, the final times. But it's going to be on August 12th at 200 Raider Lane, the middle school field. and we should have 3 or 4 games at least. So hopefully we'll have a really good time, raise some money for a good cause. For anybody that doesn't know, the 100 Club has a mission of when a police officer, firefighter, or emergency medical technician loses his or her life in the line of duty, they immediately give the family of that person $50,000. So that's a pretty good cause, and we really appreciate them. So that's our charitable event for the year.
I like it. It's a good cause. It's very helpful to the community, and it's appreciative. It really is. You don't realize how much good you're doing.
Yeah. Now on to the more serious thing, other than the charities and all that fun garbage.
Fun garbage.
The football is coming proper tournament is going to be the next weekend.
The real thing.
So that's gonna be August 18th and 19th, Saturday and Sunday. Oh, pretty much all day, every day. Hot, sweaty football.
Under the lights.
Under the lights. We're going to start later this year, so we're going to play most of the games under the lights. And we're looking for teams. I think as of right now, I would estimate at 10 teams. I hope we can get to 12. I fear that we'll get to like 16, and I'm going to have to really do a lot of work.
That does make a long day. That makes a lot of paperwork, a lot of scheduling, a lot of bracketing.
You know what? I'm ready, though. If you guys want to play, come play. If you're 16 teams, we'll fit 16 teams in. We'll video every single one of the games. You'll all have referees, and Christie's chips are ready. And we'll have a good time. I don't know if anybody can hear that speaker, but Christie's chips are ready.
I hope she got something else other than just chips. Like she just ordered chips.
Christie's been on a chip diet lately. Maybe they meant ice chips.
Oh, even where she had to order that.
Yeah, or poker chips.
Interesting.
Or chips and fish and chips.
Fish and chips.
All right. Anyway, so that's when that tournament's going to be, the 18th and 19th. It is $225 per team. You're going to have to pay at least, at the latest, the Monday before the tournament takes place.
That would be 6 days before, 5 days before.
Sure, 5 days before.
4, 5, whatever.
I would prefer you to pay as soon as possible.
We are accepting payments now, not donations. We're accepting payment now.
I can encourage payments now. Pay online too,
PayPal,
so I have to meet
Venmo,
you somewhere.
Something, yeah.
I hate meeting people in dark alleys to take cash.
He hates meeting me at tables to do podcasts.
I just hate being out of my house. Just become very agoraphobic lately. So,
home is where the heart is.
Russ, your order is ready.
I wonder what Russ had.
God, we have the same thought.
I bet it's something.
God.
Somebody just looked at us.
Are we getting broadcast over the speaker?
I don't know. But Russ's order is ready.
Oh.
Russ looks like he has a big order.
Big what?
Order.
Oh.
No, I said order, not orifice.
Big one. Okay.
But anyway, that's all the flag football information I have. I just don't have any more.
Yeah.
I guess I could tell you that the next league's going to be at the end of September sometime, that the following league after that, or there's going to be a tournament or something like in January that'll be our winter tournament, then there'll be another league in the spring. I mean, there's going to be all kind of stuff happening.
Our schedule's pretty set for the next couple of years.
But just settle for the tournament right now. Come play in it and have a good time.
Unless we have hurricanes again.
If we have a hurricane, we'll figure something out.
Yes.
But, weather permitting, and as long as I keep on living, we'll have the tournament August 18th and 19th. So go to the website, SETXFFL.com, Facebook, Twitter. I even got us a Snapchat now. And hey, by the way, all of you Snapchatters, there will be a Snapchat filter for the next tournaments. I want to see people using that Snapchat filter.
Wow.
That's high tech.
I
set up geofields and got really nerdy with it.
Oh my goodness.
So
we are almost as good as that stuff on the NFL Network.
That's garbage. 4 seconds to throw the ball. Come on,
you can't
now.
run if you're the quarterback.
Yeah.
And if you score from over 50 yards, it's 7 points. What is that crap?
I can play quarterback in that league.
Yeah, they don't rush. I mean, it's... Oh, yeah. I don't want to even get started on that.
Yeah.
It's almost not a sport.
It's close. It's kind of like fishing, right?
I would love to discuss that one day.
Okay. Well, we'll see if we have enough time today. But that's all I got on real things.
The
Anything
real
else?
Stuff. I'm just glad to be back in the podcast chair.
In the podcast chair, the floating podcast
I'm
chair.
glad to have the mic in front of me.
Yeah.
This is so fun.
Well, in the next segment, we're going to discuss Little League football.
Cody's going to discuss it, and I'm going to discuss probably why I don't care for it.
Oh, well, all right then. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. And now, a word from our sponsor.
Dad, I only have a baseball. I want to play other sports too.
Parents and kids, listen up. Here's to introduce the new product, Sport Ball. That's right, Sport Ball. You can bounce it, you can shoot it, you can throw it. It's Sport Ball. Throw it to a friend, play Sport Ball catch. Do fine tricks like the curve pitch or the kick far. Come on and buy Sport Ball. Have two friends? Try Sport Ball XL. Much like Sport Ball catch, but with two. Have two friends? Try Sport Ball Triumph. Much like Sport Ball catch, but with four.
Dad, thanks for Sport Ball.
No problem, kid. Right back at you.
Kids, listen up. Do your parents kind of care about you? Only sort of like you? Ask them for Sport Ball, the medium-priced, medium-fun toy just for you. You can throw it, you can catch it, and you can throw it, and catch it. If you purchase Sport Ball now, it'll come with fancy box. Sport Ball in fancy box. Box opens on all ends. Sport Ball can be stored in the box. Inflated to 2 psi or 20 psi. Doesn't matter. It's Sport Ball. Want a blue Sport Ball? Paint it blue. Sport Ball comes in 3 colors. Beige. Sport Ball from the makers of Playstick. This just in, new product, Imaginary Sport Ball. Just like Sport Ball, except it's not there. Comes in the same box, but it's not there. Open the box, there's nothing. No Sport Ball. Imaginary Sport Ball. Play catch theoretically. Play soccer with the Sport Ball that's imaginary, but you use a soccer ball, so you don't need the Sport Ball, but you think it's a Sport Ball, because it's imaginary.
Thank you, Sport Ball.
Sport Ball by Blammo. Alright, welcome back.
I got a beer finally.
Troy has a beer. We're still at our taco. There's still music in the background, but we're here with Walt now.
How do I get a beer?
Well, Walt, you walk up to that little guy up there, and you ask him for a beer. Super nice guy, can't pour beer, but he'll hand you one.
You better get a bottle because
Get you a bottle.
There's gonna,
Yeah, but he's nice. So
the tacos are very good.
tacos are great. Our taco, $2 Taco Tuesdays at our taco.
We just made that up.
Just made that up.
We started that at Nature's Brewing Company.
There's $2 Taco Tuesdays there too.
$2 hams.
And tell you what, there's $2 Taco Tuesdays anywhere I am. Just
I think when
don't
we were in
know.
Arkansas, we had $2 Taco Tuesdays when we went to that football game.
We did. Just tell them I sent you, and they'll know what
That
to
was
do.
on a Sunday.
Just tell them Cody
or a
sent you.
Saturday.
Tell them Cody sent you $2 Taco Tuesdays any day of the week. All right. So in this segment, we're gonna talk about Little League football. So I'll start this with the question: what to you is the purpose of Little League football?
In my opinion, or what I actually, what I think.
No, what do you think? In your opinion, like what was the purpose of Little League football?
The purpose of Little League football is to teach kids how to play as a team, how to learning discipline, learning working together, teamwork, and
And
winning.
okay, all right. Well,
I hate that because it should not be about winning, but that's
okay.
playing sports is about
This
winning.
is your opinion.
Yeah.
Walt, what do you think the purpose of Little League football is?
I think it's pretty obvious to play football.
Okay.
I mean, it's the little league version of playing football. It's to give kids a chance to play a game.
Okay. I like that.
I think it's pretty simple.
All right, that's fine. Well, I'll get even more simple with my answers. To me, the entire purpose of Little League football should be to have fun, to have kids have fun. Like, I mean, that's
That's coming from
sort of-
someone that never won any games in Little League football.
whatever. I did win games. We got third place one year, Troy. However, I think the purpose in Little League football is to win, and to win at almost any cost. I say that because if it was really about fun, you wouldn't have so many parent brawls. And I'd sent Troy this video earlier, and I'll just kind of describe it to y'all. In Sarasota in 2015, there was a Little League football game. It was Sarasota versus Northport. very heated game, I assume. I don't really know much about Florida football, but looks like 12 or 13-year-olds, and the refs are trying to clear out some kind of disturbance on one end of the field. And I'm sure some kid did something to some other kid that the parent didn't like or whatnot. But the parent starts to grab on the ref, pulls him almost to the ground. The ref escapes his grasp, and then one of the kids, who's in full pads, goes and quarterback sacks the ref. Nails him.
Dives out horizontally and just destroys the referee.
So this guy's on the ground. And at this point, there's about 20 adults surrounding him now. About 5 or 6 of them are stomping him in his body and on his head. There are other adults who are trying to pull him off, and then even more adults who are just waiting their turn to stomp on this dude. So eventually the ref squirts out of there and kind of trots off. The mob moves to a different end of the field where they get a different guy on the ground, it looks like, and they start stomping on that guy. And it's just a mess. I put the link of this on the podcast in the description of it if you guys want to watch it. It's about 5 minutes long. But my point in all that is nothing that's fun should result in that. So just like Chuck E. Cheese fights, people are using Little League football, I think, for the wrong things. Which gets me to the next question I have. Who is Little League football for?
And my honest opinion, Little League football is for the coaches and parents.
Walt?
No, wait. You said it's for the coaches and parents. That's what you...
I'm not saying that as a good thing. It's supposed to be for the kids to play, but it ends up being for the coaches and parents.
Right. So, okay, I'll agree with that. It's kind of molded into this ugly monster that is Little League football and Little League baseball, where, they have to put signs that says, we're all here for fun kind of thing. And look, I'm not in the camp that believes you should hand out everybody participation medals, because I really believe that there are, for lack of a better word, side effects for football, as far as, it's for fun, it's for the kids to play, but you also learn some life lessons in there. I know we all played football growing up. We all learned stuff. We learned how to lose. And we learned that it was okay to lose. You don't want to lose, but it's okay to lose. Just don't lose the lesson in losing, right? And you learned how to win and be a good sport, and, all that kind of stuff is what it should be about. But I know it's an ugly monster these days. And my kid does not play. My little girl, we put her in soccer, and it got to be, it was so bad that I have to teach her team stuff in other areas that I will not handle parents yelling at my kid for the first time playing soccer.
I think Little League football only helps if you have good coaches. It helps everybody on the team. Most of the times it's parents that used to play and are really aggressive with the kids, and the ones that benefit the most from it are the very best kids. That's who I think benefits from it. The 1 or 2 really good kids in each team or each league that are really good are the ones that benefit from it, because they get all the praise and become better at it. So it's not beneficial for, say, 90% of Little League participants, which is why I think Little League sports should be at a, like you say, as a not there. I mean, you want to have winners and losers, so it teaches you how to win and lose. But it should be at a point to where let's make this about having fun, and don't make it such a competition. And I know that sounds like a real millennial thing to say, where there shouldn't be winners and losers, because I think you have to have a winner and loser to know, where you fit in everything. But when you have one team that's got the best players and other teams are just built with nobody, that makes it hard for those people.
Well, here's where I'll go with that. I like winning and losing in life. I understand it. Got it. However, I don't think you need to start off 5 and 6-year-olds or whatever, small children with win at all costs attitude. Maybe the win at all costs attitude could come in later, like when winning means you keep your job, winning means this or winning means that. Because in Little League, winning means you win your championship, which is great. And what does losing mean? Losing means you weren't quite as good as the other team. How about let's keep it at that for Little League sports, instead of going, winning's everything, guys. Winning is everything. Yeah. Because if they don't win, then what did they get from the experience? Well, they got nothing.
I played for my dad. Winning was everything. I started playing at 5. Good God, why?
Yeah. I've seen, when I was in Little League, it was, practice to me was really fun. I think we just scared off a person who was going to try to clean out here. But practice to me was really fun. We had to do tackling drills. We got to do different stuff. I got to play against different kids. I got to do stuff I didn't normally do. Got to run with the ball even.
You like practice until you had to scrimmage my team during practice.
Well, when we scrimmaged Troy's team, there became a large
adult
fight. That's one of the two Little League brawls I was personally witness to.
My dad was known for being quite aggressive, quite vocal. He was ejected from several games. You wouldn't know that knowing my demeanor and attitude out there. You wouldn't think that at all.
No, not at all. Well, you had something to say.
I'll tell you, I played for Atterbury's dad.
Oh, Lord.
And that was a real eye-opener for me. Ask Josh Atterbury about those days. Pop Warner football was crazy, to say the least.
Yeah, so, when I say who is Little League football for, I think it's pretty cool whenever little kids are out there and they're like doing the dab like Cam Newton, or they're, being whoever they want to be, when they're, pretending to be Russell Wilson throwing a touchdown pass or whoever. I think it's slightly pathetic when a grown man is trying to show coaching 10-year-olds and he's trying to be Nick Saban. That to me is pathetic.
So let me ask you this. Do you think all little leagues are corrupt, or do you think just some of them are?
I don't think most of them are corrupt, in the fact that, I think...
Not corrupt, but, are... I don't know the correct word for it, but are more for the coaches now instead of being what they're actually supposed to be for.
Yes, I think most are. I think that it's the culture of Little League sports now, even though it might have always been that way, I'm not sure. But at some point, they say they say that we're out here to have fun. I think if you asked anybody, they'd be like, well, we're out here to have a good time, we're out here to have fun. I mean...
Until the umpire makes a bad call.
Yeah.
Yes, before the game, before any emotions.
Well, this is the one thing that I think with Little League sports that I hate more than anything is when you see the kids come out there wearing 10 wristbands and gloves that are too big for them, and they've got visors on their helmet, on their face mask,
cool.
all that stuff. But that's the problem, is that it's out. Look at me. Look at all this stuff I've got on that I don't even know why I'm wearing all this. But look at me. What is that? Does that come from the kids? No, it comes from the parents that are saying, "Okay, here, let's let you wear all this crap." Going and buying it and letting you wear all this stuff.
I think we're getting into some daddy issues with Troy because he's talking about the reason he wears what he wears is because his daddy made him wear accessories. I wore tall socks. Nobody else wore tall socks. I had to wear tall socks to play running back. That was my stuff. I always had to wear tall socks in the league. That was the one thing my dad said I had to Makes
wear.
your legs look faster.
My granny got me some forearm pads one time because she thought I bruised too much. And then my dad made fun of me too much, so I took off the forearm pads.
But you understand what I'm saying, though, right? Like it's sort of a hey, look at me, look at all this stuff, look at all this cool stuff, because the NFL guy wears it, but then the parents buy it for him to let him wear it. So that's what I'm saying. It's a parent-coach problem.
As the parent of an 11-year-old, though, I'll tell you, he says things to me like, "Dad, can I get a pair of receiver's gloves?" Now, because...
No, son, you're not a receiver.
Correct, and also, I'm like, I want you to learn how to catch with your hands before you put on gloves and ruin any sort of, being able to catch with your hands.
In a game where they throw the ball once or twice a game.
Well, he wants to wear gloves because they look cool.
Exactly.
I mean, that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
But that came from him. I did. In fact, I told him no. I'm like, no, you don't need any of that crap. Plus, I want to spend $20
other
on
players on the team.
Sure.
For from their parents or whatever.
I mean, but why do you wear some of the clothes you wear? I mean, you're all a product of your environment. I mean, you wear certain brand hats, and I mean that's everybody. It's not just kids.
I couldn't tell you what brand of anything I've ever worn.
It says the guy who wears green wristbands.
That's not I don't know what brand it is. That's a color that matches my team, but that has nothing to do with a brand. I don't know what brand anything is.
This is good radio right here, guys. Good radio.
So PSA is this. This is what it all boils down to.
When you're an adult, do whatever
you
the hell you want.
If you dress your kid up and make him wear the accessories, one day he'll grow up to be Troy Maddox.
That would be
not bad.
That would be a terrible thing for a child. Don't aspire to be at that level. That's not a good level to be at.
Whatever, Troy. Whatever.
So anyway, back to Little League football. So these, you have right now, the way they try to make it fair is they say each player is going to play 10 plays a game. Everybody's going to get 10 plays. Well, you know what they have in these little games? This is one thing I'd do away with if I was the Little League czar. They have kickoffs. They have extra points. And in the extra points, you can kick the ball, and there's no rush or anything. The kids just stand there and look kind of stupid like we do. So you know what the 10-play kids do? They are kickoff and extra point specialists. Because kickoffs are onside kicks every time. And extra points are many times kicked. So you knock out 5 plays right there. Now you just got to find 5 other plays that don't matter to get this poor child who probably don't want to be out there in the first place.
The knee at the end of the half and at the end of the game.
Oh, kneeling plays will get you several. In fact, you can rack them up for the next game. That kid won't have to play the rest of the year.
Well, I think they should do like baseball's done. You know, you have a regular little league, and then you have like, hey, let's take it a little more serious with select ball.
Yeah, I think that would be a good start. I think not doing the whole 5 and 6-year-old thing where they wear helmets and play flag football for a year.
We wore helmets and played
They
flag
still do.
football.
They
Come
still do.
on, that's so ridiculous.
Well, I'll tell you a story. I played flag football, and we didn't wear a helmet. I got a black eye because a girl ran into a huddle, and her head hit me in the eye. So that's why you wear helmets.
Well,
Not to be cool.
So one day I asked my son when he was playing flag football, like a 6-year-old kid, 5-year-old kid, and I said, Colin, do you know why you pull the flag when you're playing? And he said, to make your family proud. And I said, okay. So you're not pulling it to stop the runner. You're not pulling it to win the game. You're not pulling it to even prove you're the good player. You just wanted to make your family proud.
I did it so my dad wouldn't yell at me when I got home.
So then I ask, who is Little League football for? Well, in a 5-year-old's eyes, it's to make your family proud. And I kind of almost think if you asked even the best 5-year-old who scores all the points, why do you play out there? And you got a really correct answer from him, you would get I want to make my dad proud. I mean, I think that's, the reason for what they're doing. You videoing me?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, anyway, so in my time of experiencing Little League football, when I played, we had a kid who was overweight, couldn't make the weight. Back then, they had a maximum weight that you could play at. So his dad stuck him in a garbage bag, in a black garbage bag, and put him in a tanning bed. Tanned him for a while, so he could sweat out the weight. And then they wouldn't let him drink water because they would put water weight back on, made him suck on a lemon to spit out any other weight so that this person could make weight. I thought that was pretty insane. Well, then there was a bit of one-upmanship whenever I was helping coach my son's team. One of the dads on this team wanted his kid to run the ball. Super talented kid. Real fast, big though. So he almost didn't make weight to run the ball. They gave that child laxatives.
Oh.
They gave a 9 and 10-year-old laxatives so that he could run the football. Now that to me gets awfully close, if not all up into some child abuse. So, once again, does that seem fun? Is it fun to go lay in a tanning bed or take laxative, have diarrhea for a while?
That's why I would never ever coach any Little League sport, especially as coaching high school and junior high. I would never go below that level, that age group, because it just seems like it's damn near child abuse for some of the things you have to do with these kids.
But on the other hand, Cody, you played sports when you were younger, correct?
Yeah.
Football.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm assuming you did too, right?
Football, baseball.
Isn't it some of the best times you had though? Looking back on it, I wouldn't trade it.
Okay.
I had a great time.
I think for Troy, that's going to be a yes. For me, that's super complicated because to me, football at practice was fun. Football, certain times in games was fun to me, but I was always so afraid of disappointing my dad or the other coaches or whatever that literally, if I made a tackle or if I did what was right, it was just a relief. It wasn't enjoyable to me. It was just relief. It was just a relief.
And I could see that, but I just don't remember it that way, and probably because I didn't, like me, I really did play for fun. I mean, it's the whole freaking reason why we're 30 years old talking about football right now is because
No, I enjoy this.
well,
Well, it wasn't
Sometimes.
it wasn't so much a relief for me. I mean, I love playing because it was fun because I got to score touchdowns and have fun and make tackles. But if I didn't make every play on the field, who got yelled at? Me. I had to make every play on the field, and that made it really fucking stressful.
this
Right.
is getting deep. I think we need some therapists. Like, y'all need some therapists.
This is therapy, Walt.
Oh, okay,
That's why we have Aaron and Blake
I
here.
enjoyed little league
I came to
baseball,
terms with-
football. I enjoyed all of it, so I just don't understand.
I came to terms with it years ago with
Obviously,
my father. It was
you
fine.
have some issues there, Troy.
No, it's no. It,
We
it
can
it
talk.
trust-
We can
it-
talk about that later on another show.
It really helped me become a good football player.
Yeah, and I'm sure it did. And I think that dude, you were probably in the top one player in Vital Little League football.
To be fair, that's fighter.
Well, yeah, that's all we had.
That's where we were.
we-
But you were okay. But I'm just saying, you were in the top 10%, probably in the top 1% of kids that played out there. I was in the 50th percent, and my dad was the coach. So to me, it was like, I couldn't make every play. I couldn't score touchdowns. I played center and I played linebacker. So to me, it was just like, God, I hope I don't screw this up, because basically I'll, feel terrible. And if I do it okay, I'll be like, okay, at least I did okay just then. So that's how I felt about Little League football. Now, which gets me to my last little thing, and then I'll...
Ready, Angela?
Angelo?
Angelo.
Angeno's order was ready.
Olivia, your order's ready.
I
Ryubia?
think Olivia.
I'm going with Ryubia.
Olivia.
So anyway, my very last thing I'll say on this, then I'll be done, is the most fun, because I'm glad you brought that up, Walt, my memory of Little League football. My most fun I ever had playing football as a child was playing football in the yard with my friends. That to me was the most fun I ever had. Actually, if I'm being really objective and thinking back, that was fun. I mean, everybody kind of took a turn playing quarterback. It didn't really matter that much. I would dive for balls. If I didn't catch it, no big deal. If I caught it, looked cool. I could, and we would have these parties after football season where we would go play football in the backyard. I just thought that was a blast. I loved it. I was like, man, nobody's screaming at me.
And see, I hated those because there was no winner or loser. There was no scoreboard. That's what I didn't like. See, because I grew up in that era with that pressure of you got to win.
Right. So that's kind of at the end of the day. I honestly understand what you're saying, because if I were you, I would feel the same way. I'd be like, I am the best out here. I want something for it, but I wasn't. I was like, oh, cool, I caught a touchdown. I never did this in the game.
Well, I just think, like I said, it's all about personal experience, and you're a product of your environment. And like I grew up playing ball with Dilts and all of them, and I think he would say the same thing. It was we had that happy balance. I mean, if I'm just looking back, like we played baseball, football in the yard. We would play video games at midnight about baseball and football, but it was that perfect balance of, it was competitive, but it was fun. Like, and there was no anxiety on my part, or whether if I dropped the pass or if I fumbled. I don't remember it that way. But
and I'm glad you brought up baseball, because Little League baseball, at least with Little League football, you may not be learning great technique, but you're learning football and maybe rules of the game. With Little League baseball, like T-ball, that's the worst ever, because you're not learning rules of the game at that age. Like, they have 4 or 5 year olds playing. I've seen these Little League games where
isn't like everybody bat or something?
everybody bats, nobody gets out, the last runner gets to run on every base every time, you throw it to first every time, you're safe or out, doesn't matter. Like, you're not learning anything about the game, you're just out there. That's not, to me, that's not fun. That's just, you're just out there, and everybody's in the field. All 10, 12, 15 people are out on the field. It makes no sense.
But you get to take pictures of your kid in this little uniform and put it on Facebook,
Yeah.
Snapchat, and everything
which
else.
leads
and
me to, which
Instagram.
leads to the point of, it's for the parents.
Yes, Little League sports are for the parents.
Okay, I don't remember at 5 and 6 what I'm talking about. I guess we're just talking.
They didn't have Facebook when we were 5 or
Yeah,
6.
But I'm talking. I guess I remember like that being 10, 11.
And those were fun. Yeah,
Those
was
are the fun years. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
My
T-ball-
life has
T-ball
never
probably
been
horrible.
fun. Nothing I've ever done has ever been fun. This isn't fun. Nothing is fun, okay? This is for the parents. This is for the grandparents.
The grandparents.
Yeah. But that's all I have on that. Well, I have plenty more, but it's like 22 minutes into this.
What a segment. What a segment.
Any closing remarks,
I
Troy?
want a taco now.
Walt, you got anything else?
I'm still waiting on my beer.
Did you order one?
Did you order it?
Oh, yeah, no, I got.
Oh, okay.
I'll be back.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do that. Aaron, do you have anything?
We've got audience here. We've
Tell you
got
what,
members here.
Hand Aaron that microphone. Aaron, tell us about the sponsor for
He's
the
handling it.
first responders. I
Alrighty,
guess
so
you
we have
probably
a
already
really
know
good sponsor for our first responders tournament. Southampton Resources, group out of Silsbee, Texas. A couple guys in the league actually, I think, work for them guys, but they've been really generous and they've donated some money for us to have our tournament. So, good stuff.
Blake Dugas, closing remarks. Blake has no clue. Well, all right, guys.
And
Then,
that's going to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. I got kind of wound up on that one. I like that.
That was good. I would love to do another segment, but we've got business to take care of.
All right, we're about to have our board meeting and really cut some people's meat over here. They even have this bucket to put all the discarded meat in.
Fat.
Yeah. All right. Have a good day.
Good luck.